and political debts should be paid. And under no circumstances should your pocket square ever match your necktie, on pain of death. That's Roger's advice, or the beginning of it. If you've been to the self-help section of your local bookstore lately, you know there are almost as many guides to life as there are people looking for guidance in life. Yet crack the cover of any of them, and you'll recognize the same recurring themes. Stop struggling. Accept yourself. Be who you are. Robert Fulghum, Rick Warren, and Deepak Chopra may come from three distinct religious traditions, but all wind up at the same destination, floating peacefully in the soothing waters of Lake Me. Not Roger. His counsel is earthier, more outwardly focused, and probably more honest. Here, for example, is Roger on forgiveness. I will often wait years to take my revenge, hiding in the tall grass, my stiletto at the ready, waiting patiently until you think I have forgotten or forgiven a past slight. And then, when you least expect it, I will spring from the underbrush and plunge a dagger up under your rib cage. It turns out that everything you needed to know was not covered in kindergarten. I could go on, from memory, but you've got rules to listen to. Roger and I disagree on pleated trousers, but other than that, he's on the level. Enjoy. Tucker Carlson. Preface. For 30 years, I have been on the front line of American presidential politics, serving 8 national Republican presidential candidates. I have engineered the elections of senators and governors. In the business world, I have assisted multi-billion-dollar mergers and acquisitions. I have solved complex public relations and political problems for corporations, pro-Western foreign governments, trade associations, and wealthy individuals. Over my many years as a consummate political animal, I spent untold hours talking politics and learning political tactics from Richard Nixon, whose presence on 6 presidential ballots nationwide is surpassed only by Franklin Roosevelt. Served as a traveling aide for the great American patriot Senator Bob Dole, driving him while he was in Washington, D.C., cutting up his meat, and occasionally helping him with a collar button. Dole's courage and persistence allowed him to overcome the grave battlefield injuries he suffered when hit by a German shell in Italy. Regularly briefed and prepped Ronald Reagan while organizing his presidential campaigns in 1976, 1980, and 1984. Targeted ethnic Catholic Democrats for the election of Ronald Reagan in 1980 and 1984. Was sent on a mission in 1988 by James Baker that allowed George H.W. Bush to beat Mike Dukakis in California by 1 point. My efforts resulted in toppling corrupt New York Governor Eliot Spitzer, who was using the services of multiple call girl rings while prosecuting others for prostitution. Spitzer funded his early political career with an illegal loan from his billionaire father, and then perjured himself in a civil suit filed by his disgruntled Democratic primary competitors. I helped undermine the Reform Party after they cost Republicans the White House in 1988. I shut down the 2000 Florida presidential recount in Miami-Dade County by fomenting a riot, and I launched the idea of Donald J. Trump for president. My nearly 4 decades in the political arena have made me an extraordinary cast of enemies. I've been attacked by David Byrne of Talking Heads, Rosie O'Donnell, washed-up clown Tom Arnold, fantasy novelist J.K. Rowling, unemployable lunatic Keith Olbermann, a bevy of elitist twits at the Daily Beast, knife-in-the-back propagandists at HuffPo, and a chorus of other fake news sites like Raw Story, and Salon, and Slate, and the dipshits at Mother Jones, which endlessly spew assorted and sundry bullshit about yours truly. I've been able to make Ari Melber, the hapless dope at MSNBC, sputter, and the brainless talking heads at CNN like Jake Tapper and Anna Navarro rage. I love it. As I said in the culmination of the Netflix documentary Get Me Roger Stone, I revel in their hatred, because if I was not effective, they would not hate me. My favorite quote from the Joker, the villain